I'm Aida Takyrbasheva, and I'm from Break the Ice.
What does Break the Ice do?
Break the Ice is an agency, so I support founders and connect them with capital, and I also design their revenue architecture.
And you are here at STEP, and you've just finished a panel. What were you talking about?
Oh gosh, so the name of the panel was Decoding Go-to-Market Strategy in the Age of AI. Obviously, AI continues to be a really strong buzzword everywhere you go. But what was interesting about our panels, we were talking about humanizing that factor and like how bringing in the human factor into the conversation, into the automation processes and weighing out the pros and cons and when the human factor is important versus like when you should let AI do its thing.
And you're working very much kind of with the startup and scale-up kind of community here in the region?
So I'm originally American, so my background is working with Silicon Valley startups and scaling those, specifically in the software, fintech, and mobility space. The last company, the most notable one I worked for full-time was called Fair, and so we were the first subscription company backed by SoftBank, powering all the Uber drivers in the US with cars. And since then, I went off to found my own agency. So now I get to work with the scrappy founders and helping them take their ideas to market and then getting them to a point, mentoring them on one side and then introducing them to my VC network. But since then, I kind of was like, I need a change, and I've always wanted to have a base in Europe, and so I relocated to Europe. That's my other second home base. And so Dubai is my plus because why not? I mean, look at this place. It's great. I love the energy here. Do you feel it?
100%.
Such a great vibe, right? I mean, so like the innovation, I'm so impressed with their speed of adoption and how they're not just embracing AI, but fully taking it and implementing it into their government systems and how they run things. And so I think it's really cool how they see this through a different lens. And I've also noticed a lot of Americans that I've run into here, so they're really keen at capturing that like top tier talent, bringing it here. And not to say that the Silicon Valley GTM playbook is relevant to rinse and repeat across regions. There are obviously regional nuances here in the Middle East, but I think it makes it really fun and exciting, and again, I love the vibe.
And what have you picked up on that kind of nuances point? Sort of what adaptations to kind of the Silicon Valley playbook, are kind of front of mind right now?
So Silicon Valley playbook is like velocity and repetition, rinse and repeat, right? Like when you look at Europe, it's all about compliance and governance. And I feel like when it comes to Middle East, it's all just about innovation, adoption, again, taking it and running with it. I love how, frankly, how big their budgets are and how they're willing to write a check fast, by the way. And so that's been really fun. And again, just the Middle East has just got this like special edge and component because they're different. When I was here last year, I spent about 3 months here. A friend of mine has a real estate business and I helped her build out a team. And so she was like, Dubai is going to be the next New York. And I laughed when she said that. I'm like, no, it's not. And she's like, think about it. Look at like what we're doing, what we're building. Their agenda is at 2030 or 2033. I forget. And so when you look at those markers, you realize the scale,
yeah,
right? And how quickly they're going. And I think that's really impressive and fun. And then I have like a personal tie to the Middle East. Like I was born in Kyrgyzstan, and so it's a Muslim country, and so it's the culture, the religious aspect. So I got to spend Ramadan here last year, which was really fun and special, and I enjoy the roots, getting back to the roots part.
That's very, very cool. And sort of alongside, I suppose, kind of your excitement for this market, from a broader kind of perspective in terms of where we are on adoption and just the constant kind of innovation that's going on right now, what are you kind of personally most excited about?
I'm excited. So AI, so the way I look at it is this way, and this may be controversial, but I think my advice to founders, let's say, what do I do? How do I keep up? Is learn how to speak AI. AI is a language. And so I grew up, I speak 4.5 languages. And so that has served me so well in life because I can connect with people on a deeper level and really not just listen, but hear them and understand cultural nuance. It's the same thing here. It's like, you got to learn how to speak AI because right now, you sending an email, the same person that's receiving it, it's like machines speaking to machines, right? The same thing. If you're a company and your HR department, all the resumes go through a filtering system. So it's, you have to go through multiple rounds to get to an actual human. So learning and arming yourself with those tools and understanding that you're going to be speaking to systems is going to give you kind of an edge, but also not forgetting the human side of it, right? And then as automation becomes prevalent, I think the human side of it is going to carry its own weight because we will need that human intuition, human factor. I mean, that's important, especially if you're in enterprise businesses where the sales cycles are so long. It's all about who you are, who your network is, building up that street cred. So I think, keeping that human factor while arming yourself with this superpower is going to be critical.
And what's one kind of AI-based kind of product or service that you just couldn't imagine living without now?
Oh, gosh. I mean, to be quite honest, I don't use a lot of AI tools. And, I think I'm fortunate. I've always enjoyed writing. In fact, I'm finally leaning into that and publishing my book this year. It's a poetry collection. I'm really excited about that. And so I haven't had the need. I mean, I use the basic, Claude, ChatGPT. It's more of to just make sure to check my tone. I think it's really helpful.
Yeah.
So depending on who I'm sending the email to, I'm like, am I on tone? Communication is really important. Will this land the right way? Am I offbeat? But, and so I'm lucky, I don't need to, but I think when it comes to sales process, there's so many. I mean, you should talk to one of the startups, and that way it gives them a chance to plug their tools. I mean, Blue Fusion is a great one, right? I mean, Andreas is the reason why I'm talking to you. They've got great tools. So
that's a great
constantly
answer.
Updating and looking at the tech stack and learning. Oh, what I would really like to do is I want to learn how to vibe code. I think that's really cool. So I was talking to my 12-year-old niece today. I'm like, hey, do you want to build an app with me? She's like, okay, cool. She's really creative. We love to jam out. I'm like, let's find a problem to solve. And there's this app on Lovable and we can build something together. So ask me next time, maybe a month from now, and I'll tell you what's my favorite tool.
I love that. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.